Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Is he seriously making an Inception joke this many years after the movie came out? I am. You can unfollow or unsubscribe. But I want to look at something really quick here. It's going to be really simple. It's going to build off what we saw last video. And I want to see what would happen if we put if statements inside of if statements. And I find if we take a look at this, this might give you guys a great understanding of how if statements really work. So let's start off with our preprocessor command, include IOStream, using namespace std to define our namespace. Then we'll go ahead and make our main function. We're going to use integer data. It's called main for main function. Open and close bracket to indicate that it is a function, and then you're going to close it off at the end and put your return value of 0. Now let's go ahead and put the same comment thing we saw before. Start of main function. And down here, end of main function. And we're going to do this again because we're going to have a lot of curly braces going all over the place. So we're just going to keep it neat for the first few videos, and then you guys will get a hang of everything and we can stop doing that. So let's go make some variables here. Let's start off with integer x is equal to 2 and integer y is equal to 7. So we have our two variables defined there. And let's go ahead and make a first if statement. First if statement we'll say actually we won't put anything right now. We're going to get to that later on. Let's go put one if statement here. We're going to put our comments, start of first if statement, and here end of first if statement. And inside of that, let's put another if statement. Just type it out, nothing complicated. And in there, let's go ahead and we're going to put start of second if statement. And let's go down here and put end of second if statement. So there we go. I know it looks like a lot more text, but it's going to help us follow along just for this first part. So we can go ahead and inside this if statement, we can go ahead and put a statement, which will be printing something out on the screen. The second if statement was visible. I'm going to write visible, and you're going to see exactly why I'm going to write that in a moment. And up here, we're going to write the first if statement was visible. Okay, and I want to see, and we're going to write down here as well, outside of both if statements, just write hello, just to make sure that we know our program is running, because we want to make sure, even if both if statements are false, we want to make sure that the program is still working and we're still going to be getting something back. Now, we need to put some stuff inside of our if statements. So if we go ahead and write x is equal to 2 in the first one, and in the second one we go y is equal to 7, remember we have to put two equal signs, we'll go ahead and run this and we should be able to see all three statements printed out on the screen. The first statement was visible, the second if statement was visible, and then hello to ensure that our program was working. So that's great. Now what would happen if we write y is not equal to 7? Remember, not equal is the exclamation mark, equal sign, and then the value. Now you can see that only the first if statement was visible, and then we get our another hello. Now the main reason I wanted to make this video was what would happen if our second if statement, which is inside the first if statement, was true, but the first if statement was not true. So let's go ahead and write x is not equal to 2. Now, are we going to see the second if statement, or because it's inside the first if statement, which is not true, it's going to get entirely skipped over by the program? Let's press build and run and find out. We are only going to get the hello statement, which means if your first if statement is not true, and then there's another if statement inside of it which is true, that statement will not be looked at, because you need to open the door, which is the first if statement, if you want to go and talk to the second if statement. So if the first one's not true, you can't get to the second one. So that's what why I wanted to make this video, just keep you guys informed on that. I think if you examine this and you understand exactly what I did here and exactly what happened, I think you'll have a perfect understanding of how if statement work. I want to make this extra video and I don't want to keep it too long, so I'm going to end it off right here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll have more coming up later on. Thanks.